Hello folks, this is Steve AB4L. Going to have some fun. Now I've done some exploring. Now you know I started programming CPUs in 1983, so I've kind of been at it a long time. Well, I haven't done much lately. You know that nothing in this episode is a promotion nor is it a recommendation. Now, I go to /dot.org, News for Nerds. I'm a nerd. And one of the hot topics right now is that DOGE, I call it DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. So I'm looking down here. DOGE to rewrite SSA codebase in months. Social Security Administration. They're going to rewrite the code base that's used by the Social Security Administration in a few months. They're probably going to use AI. Yeah, that'll make it safe. According to the article in Wired, Elon Musk has appointed a team of technologists from DOGE, to rewrite the code that runs the SSA and do it in a couple of months. I'm smiling. The code base has over 60 million lines of COBOL, C-O-B-O-L. Have I ever actually written something or debugged something in COBOL? Yes. When I worked for that internationally known, internationally operating IT company. And handles record keeping for all American workers and payments to all Social Security recipients, like me. Yeah, I'm retired. Given that the code has to track the Byzantine regulations dealing with Social Security, it's no wonder the code base is this large. Person doesn't know what he's talking about to put it together that way. What is in question, though, is whether a small team can rewrite this code in months. What do they mean by rewrite it? Write it in a modern programming language. What do you mean, modern programming language? We'll get to that. After all, what could possibly go wrong? Now, 5 years ago, SSA was already talking about this. You'd think they could have got it done in 5 years. Office of the Inspector General, modernizing Social Security's information technology infrastructure. When I worked for that internationally known, internationally operating IT company, did I ever do customer support directly with somebody working for the government in Social Security? Yes. The Army? Yes. And others. Background on SSA's IT profile. So what I did is I searched on the acronym, the programming language name, COBOL. SSA must modernize its IT infrastructure to support current and future workloads. SSA's IT environment includes hundreds of applications and an array of technologies. To process its core workloads, such as retirement and disability claims, core functionality run on computers, the agency relies on decades-old applications programmed with a common business-oriented language, COBOL. SSA maintains more than 60 million lines of COBOL today. So that's where they get the number. Along with millions more lines of other legacy programming languages. Notice the word legacy. Okay. So we'll do a Google search on COBOL. COBOL, Common Business-Oriented Language, is compiled English-like computer programming language. Some of the stuff today it's like speaking a foreign language. But it's a different way of thinking. Designed for business use. It is It's used primarily in business, finance, and administrative systems for companies and governments. There's nothing wrong with that. Except for one thing. COBOL was designed in 1959. You didn't know there were computers in 1959? Yeah, it was designed by a female genius. And I do mean that. That's the way she looked in 1984. That's not how she looked like when she created COBOL. She's passed on now. Pioneer of computer programming, was the first to devise a theory of machine-independent programming languages. What did that mean? Well, a lot of things that were being developed were specific to the calculator or the particular computer you were talking about. She said we need to abstract it so that whether we run it on that CPU or over here, underneath, we'll have code to adapt to that hardware. But we want to do the programming without knowing what the hardware is going to be, because it's not important. All that's important is how you get the information in and get the correct answer out. We don't care about the hardware, because that keeps changing. It's a new field. It keeps changing every few months. Literally. PhD in mathematics and mathematical physics, Yale. Vassar College professor, went to the United States Navy, World War II. Do you think the Navy had big data processing needs? All right, so when was it invented? Let's keep that date in mind. By 1952, Hopper had finished her program linker, also called a compiler. But the point is, we're talking about the 1950s. A programming language still in use today. She must have been really smart. Now I'm going to change the subject. Remember 1952. The search here is IBM lawsuits. We're scrolling down, and as I was looking through them, I knew I would find something. IBM and Rocket Software settle lawsuit involving Micro Focus products. Now this is an up-to-date article, July 8th, 2024. So this is a lawsuit involving software. One of the partners is IBM. International Business Machine Corporation has settled a lawsuit accusing another company called Micro Focus of infringing IBM's copyrights related to IBM's CICS web services. CICS, C-I-C-S. Oh yeah, I know what that is. So why would they? Now web services means CICS adapted to doing it online. over the internet. What's kicks? It's important enough that they suit somebody. So we do a search on IBM's CICS web services. Not COBOL, CICS, C-I-C-S. COBOL's an abbreviation, CICS is an abbreviation. I found this book, Implementing CICS Web Services, IBM Red Books. IBM Red Books we've got a new product, a lot of new stuff. The way you learn the instruction manual is, this is IBM speaking, a red book. You can get it on Amazon. Implementing CICS Web Services, $50. Today, more and more companies are embracing the principles of online demand business by integrating business processes end-to-end across the The web services support in CICS Transaction Server version 3 enables your CICS programs, pre-existing code, to be web service providers. Do it over the internet in a browser. Okay? $5 to deliver the book. Copyright January 1st, 2008. Oh, that's so up to date. It's nothing like the 1950s. It's only 2008. How long ago was that? Maybe 20 years. But they just filed a lawsuit about it because of infringing their patents. So it must still be important. Isn't that considered out of date? What is CICS? So we do just CICS. Customer Information Control System is a transaction processing middleware. You have some computer stuff here. You talk to this thing, and it knows how to talk to the appropriate back end. You don't need to learn how to talk to what's on the back end, because the different back ends talk different languages. We'll pass it through middleware that understands how to talk to the back ends. It'll talk in a common language to you. So you don't have to learn 5, 6, a dozen different programming languages to talk to the final computer systems. Middleware. Used to build and manage your customer transaction applications. What's that? Well, you slide your credit card at the big box store. It has to go and see if the account's good, the card's good. Then it has to actually do it in the book system of the big box store to let you buy it, right? There's 3 or 4 or 5 different things being checked at the same time. They don't know anything about each other. They're on different systems, built at different times, for different purposes. Used to build and manage customer transaction applications, particularly for mission-critical applications. Do you think doing Social Security paychecks is mission-critical? Like banking and credit card processing. So something that they were big deal on converting to adapting to web services, but when was CICS come in? Transaction Management System on ZOS, that's mainframe hardware. Introduction to CICS. CICS stands for Customer Information Control System, is a general purpose transaction processing subsystem. And you can go on and read how it interfaces all these other languages, the way IBM does it. Now look at what I did here. When were KICS introduced? Is KICS still used today? This is the AI at search engine. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. KICS was introduced, the Customer Information Control System was introduced on July 8th, 1969. Well, at least it's not the 1950s. Do you think SSA uses COBOL? Yup. Do you think they use KICS? Yup. It isn't just the COBOL they have to reprogram. And this is a specialized system that IBM's been developing over the years, and they're going to replace all that stuff with modern Java or whatever. Java's almost 30 years old now. Oh, you mean nothing is new? Now, why am I doing this? Here's a book, IBM System Z Technical University, 2012, KICS Transaction Server from start to finish. Teach yourself. So the people who are going to change all of those archaic computer language programs are going to have to first learn what it means, or, and this is what I think Musk is counting on. Let AI learn it and do it for you. It either could be a huge success for AI or a disaster for everybody. Yes, I just told you why they said in a few months. They don't say it, I don't think he said it out loud. He's counting on the rapid progress in AI advancement. But AI will have to go back and read the manuals I showed you and more to learn what it is in order to do and then they're going to have to learn, like, let's say Java. Java from Oracle, they just got broken into. Oracle did. Java is powering the innovation behind our digital world. Harness this potential with Java resources for student coders, hobbyists, developers, and IT leaders. You can download it and program. And you can use things like RESTful API, RESTful web services. This is the modern stuff. What they're going to convert all that 1950s based code. RESTful web services for web services that follows the principle of representational state transfer. Does that mean anything to you? A software architecture style emphasizing a client-server model, stateless communication, and a uniform interface using HTTP, that's web, methods to interact with resources identified by URLs. Did any of that make any sense to you? I can figure out why the Social Security information system didn't do it. When I worked for that internationally known, internationally operating IT company, sometimes my customers that I was helping were at the Treasury, at Social Security, in the Army. Most of them didn't know anything. Most of them were outside contractors. They'd be there for 3 months and then they're gone. Rotated. You want to know why that stuff is still in the 1950s? I dealt with a situation where we had to tell banks. We've got some new critical code updates. You need to start patching every single machine you have running our product with this newest version right now. No, you don't have time to figure out how it works and whether it's safe. And no, we're not going to tell you what the bug is, but trust me, you need to update now. And they went right to the CEO of the company. What do you mean? You're not going to tell us. Because if it got out, they would be if I were to disclose to you the full details of how this security vulnerability in our product works, with all due respect to the folks who are on this conference call, major banks, we don't know who else is listening in. If I tell you the full details of how this is done so that you can see why you got to upgrade now, I'm quoting somebody. It'll be all over the internet by tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow night, you all, the banks, will be destroyed. Meaning this is so damn easy to get in, they can get in 10 seconds and take over your machines. Yeah, it's that bad. Start upgrading now. Download the stuff we're giving you and do it now. You don't have time for testing. Do it now. If this gets out, you will be destroyed. Because it will be so easy for the bad boys to do it. It'll only take them 10 seconds to take over with super user privilege. Right through your home page on the web. That sounds like it's off subject. Why did I go to that example? The reason why people are going, does Musk know what he's saying? Common experience is the reason why applications that were written years ago are being held onto and still used today is because they work, they're totally debugged, and there are no surprises. They do a limited function and they do it right 1,000%. We don't need new technology because every time we try to figure out how to do it with a modern programming language, we spend the next 10 years trying to get all the bugs out. And people are angry. We have something that works flawlessly. They went through that suffering 40 years ago. We're not touching anything. In other words, the people at Social Security and the other ones, they're not stupid. There's a reason why their grand plans 5 years ago still haven't moved. They can't do it without chaos. But that's a requirement, isn't it? What do you mean my Social Security check isn't here? Where's my money? I don't want to hear any excuses. Do you understand? Do you understand? Good. Steve AB4 out. Remember, I'm an idiot running my mouth. I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Saying see you in 73.